Chargers, Broncos, 57 Fahrenheit, sunny, 5 miles per hour. Let's see what we are getting for a line. Chargers opened up as 1-point favorites. There are now threes right across the board, and these threes are juiced. This total opened up at 44.5. We've now seen it drop a half point to 40. Chargers snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 39-29 win over the Jaguars. Squandered double-digit lead for the 4th time in 5 games. Did not allow a first down on Jacksonville's first 4 drives before penalties, missed tackles, blocked punt, allowed the Jaguars to take a 21-16 lead in the third. Jacksonville, 29-22 lead late in the third quarter, and the Chargers took over, scored the final 17 points. Herbert, third 300-yard passing game. He also rushed for a career-high 66 yards. Joshua Kelly and Justin Jackson continued to do nothing at all. So it was a pretty simple reason why Herbert ran for 66 yards. They couldn't move the ball on the ground, so they were consistently going into pass plays and 4 wide sets. And then if everybody was covered, the only other option was for Herbert to run. If that continues, what you have to imagine with how bad Joshua Kelly and Justin Jackson are playing, they average 2.4 yards a carry, then we should probably go right back to the well on Herbert rush props. They need Eckler back badly. Herbert also throwing a deep ball exceptionally well. 9 of 18, 569 yards, 4 touchdowns in his past 3 games on passes over 20 yards. Melvin Ingram returned. He was expected to see limited snaps. He did come in for 43 of 68 plays. Virgil Green is going to miss the next 2 games due to a sprained ankle. Then we get to the Broncos coming off that ugly 43-16 loss. Kansas City had a 24-9 halftime lead, even though Mahomes had just completed one pass in the second quarter. 99 yards through the air in the first half. Chiefs had touchdowns on Pringle's 102-yard kickoff return, Sorensen's 50-yard interception return, and then an Allaire 11-yard run. Locke went 24-40 for 250 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The game marked the first time that Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay were both healthy, and then Lindsay goes out with a concussion. Lindsay looked great, 79 yards rushing before his concussion. Then Gordon takes over and looks terrible, fumbling the ball, playing poorly. Lindsay concussion, defensive lineman Shelby Harris wrist injury, wide receiver Tim Patrick has been so good dealing with a hamstring injury, defensive lineman Mike Purcell foot, and defensive end Derek Tuska hamstring injury. Bebsy, take it away. Chargers, Broncos.
First of all, Melvin Gordon is not a good running back. If you watch even his highlight reel, there's nothing special. All that guy does is hit holes and run for his highlight reel. He doesn't make people miss. He doesn't break tackles. He's not an impressive runner. So not having Lindsay and having him is bad. He's just not a great player. I just love the way Justin Herbert is playing week in, week out. He looks great. Fangio knows how to coach a defense, and they still have some players on that defense in Denver, but I just don't know who stops them right now. Am I crazy to like the Chargers in this one? It just feels like this could be another situation where the Chargers are just top to bottom a better football team.
I agree, but we know Fangio does one thing well, and that's prepares a team defensively. And it wasn't their defense that got slaughtered by the Chiefs in that loss. And if you know that the Chargers have no running game whatsoever, don't you find a pretty simple way to defend them?
Yeah. The problem is that I don't see anybody on Denver putting up points. Judy has really underwhelmed considering the hype around him. At times he looks great. Hamler, I believe, is still out. They really miss Cortland Sutton. Drew Lock looks pedestrian. Herbert, first of all, Herbert can run the ball. Yeah, Alvin Smith, I lost the first half bet. They were up 16-0. I thought it was easy.
Well, first off, I think Herbert's going to get his again on the ground. I'll have to wait to see what that prop is. And also, I'm 0-3 in props this year, so take that with a grain of salt. And then we just watched the Broncos lose 43-16 when everything went wrong outside of the regular play calling. It was there was a 102-yard run back. I mean, Mahomes wasn't beating them up. I think this is tricky. I think the public sees that 1.5, and it automatically says Chargers are a better team. But Fangio only does one thing well, and this is set up perfectly for him to do that thing well. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why I'm not jumping with you, because I agree with you. I think the Chargers make sense. Chargers are a better football team than the Broncos. That's the only thing that's kind of slowing me down. And it's going to be beautiful on Sunday. Warm for Denver this time of year.
Tell me about the weather.
I don't know. But I can understand you making a move on the Chargers. They're a better football team. But Slat says Lindsey being out is huge.
Lindsey being out is huge. They don't have another running back.
Well, they have the booze bag and Melvin Gordon.
I don't think Melvin Gordon's a good running back at all. I really like, the now Herbert's got a taste for winning.
We don't know for certain that Lindsey's out. He's in concussion protocol.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm lukewarm on the Chargers in this. That's the problem. Is I'm not definitive. I'm not like, yes, bang the drum on the Chargers here. Again, because they're going into Mile High. The weather is unpredictable. I especially hate predicting the weather in Mile High like 5 days out. We have no idea. Weather changes every 20 minutes at that altitude. Nobody knows. I really like Herbert in this game. He's been great week in and week out. I haven't been betting him. I bet him last week, and I just bet the wrong time. The points totaled up to what should have been a win. They were up 16-0. They gave up 2 scores late in the first half. I really like what Justin Herbert's doing. I think Eckler missing is real trouble, but they still have a ton of weapons on that offense that, man, Mike Williams is finally kind of every now and then flashing what he did at Clemson, and I think a lot of that has to do with Herbert.
Yeah. I just feel like they're pretty easy to defend right now. That's my only issue. Pretty easy to defend.
Al Cervic thinks we're overthinking it, and I think we might be overthinking it too. Sometimes you just got to look at what team is better.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Dennis Garcia said he was going to play the Chargers. I had to wait for no good reason. Now the number's gone. Pass.
How much has that changed?
Oh, it's changed because I might have to reach to get you a 2.5. Oh yeah, it's changed. It's now heavily juiced to 3s. We'll see 3.5 soon. And I tell you what, when we see 3.5s, I might turn around and take the Broncos.
Did this open at a pick'em too?
No, it opened at -1. Oh yeah, probably pick them at some books. Bet 365 had a -1 and -115.
Ugh. Yeah, I might have been talked out of this. Thanks to Dennis Garcia there. That's a good call, Dennis.